Hello there my Jedi and Sith friends, my Mandalorians, my Megalorians, and I think I see a couple of Porgs joining us. Just don't make too much sound guys, okay? But welcome to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your friend, and your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today, we have one of the biggest Star Wars leaks in many years. Today marks the return of one of the most prominent and reliable scoopers in the game, making Star Wars, also known as Jason Ward. As you might be aware, if you've been watching me since the days of Obi-Wan Kenobi or Ahsoka, making Star Wars scoops are pretty much always on the money. I'm not exaggerating when I say that he has the best and closest sources. He took a long hiatus, as you might be aware, but now via bestbinbulletin.com, he's returned to share some juicy info for Star Wars Starfighter, the next Star Wars movie coming in 2027 by Shawn Levy, one of my personal most anticipated Star Wars projects. And I just want to say now guys, if you don't want to be spoiled for the film, if you don't want to know anything about it, you might want to turn away now. I'm not kidding guys, these are not just vague rumors, they're specific, extensive leaks, and there is the biggest surprise you can imagine if you're a fan of the expanded universe. But with that disclaimer out of the way, no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. Let's dive into some of the story and character leaks. And the first one is the one that's going to make you go, what the actual frick? Ryan Gosling is playing a character called Cade. C-A-D-E, Cade, as in Cade Skywalker. And this is something that a lot of fans theorized from the second we saw the behind the scenes photo with Ryan in his outfit, that he looks a lot like Cade Skywalker from the expanded universe. But, and it is a pretty big but, there are a couple of caveats we have to take into account. Despite sharing the same name, there is no indication in any of these reports that they're the same guy. It could be one of those cases where Lucasfilm lifts a name from the expanded universe and applies it to one of their new characters. And secondly, it should be noted that there is no indication on this character's last name. Considering the canon and Legends timelines are different, I'd be very surprised if it is Skywalker. He's probably just going to be known as Cade. The Cade from the expanded universe doesn't exist for another 100 years. In my personal opinion, based on the actor they got to play the role, based on his hair, his overall appearance, his outfit, and the fact he's literally called Cade, they were trying to evoke imagery of the original character from Legends. That to me seems like a very deliberate choice, even if the parallels are not one for one. In Legends, Cade was a bounty hunter, a smuggler, a pirate, who in his youth was once the Jedi Padawan of Wolf Sazon. He was also the son of another Jedi, Cole Skywalker. And Cade is one of the most important characters in the Star Wars Legacy series. He's a descendant of Luke and Anakin, and both actually spoke to him as Force ghosts. But here's what I find really interesting. Cade isn't the only recent character Lucasfilm has lifted from the Legacy comics. Legacy is also where Darth Talon first appears, and there is an ongoing theory that Devon Azara, in More Shadow Lord Season 2, is going to become Talon. With Ryan Gosling's character now more or less confirmed to be called Cade, those theories are starting to sound more and more legit, but only the names and the aesthetic. The characters themselves tend to be very different. I made a whole video about this, but Devon is very different to Darth Talon. I think they're lifting more from the Talon from George Lucas's sequel trilogy, but even then, she's got a very different temperament, a different backstory, and different motives. I don't know what's going to happen with Cade, but this is massive news. Maybe Shawn Levy was a big fan of those comics, and maybe Devon Azara's going to find her way into live action at some point. Not too sure about Starfighter itself, but imagine if they are trying to adapt a live action canon version of Legacy. But moving on my friends, because we do have a range of other reveals, now we come on to Flynn Grey, who Amy Adams said is the star of the film. Flynn's character is the nephew of Cade, and he's also the son of Amy Adams' character, who by the way, is also a Jedi. I think it's no secret that the film is building up to Flynn becoming a Jedi himself. Well now we know my friends that his character is either Rone or Ronin. Making Star Wars said it sounded a bit like Rone or Ronin or some variation of that, but Flynn, despite being Irish, is going to talk with an American accent. Then they confirmed that Cade is a rogue Han Solo type, so kind of like Cade from Legends. He also wears a necklace, which is said to be important, and it was reported that in early development, Cade is the best friend of Flynn Grey's father. This apparently is also someone very important. I'm gonna guess there might be some more surprise connections to legacy characters, maybe descendants or children of characters we know, but we have no clarification yet. Then we come onto the plot. As was rumoured very early on, Cade has to deliver Ronin to a Jedi Academy, and the academy is on a planet called Adaria. They don't know yet if Rey is the one running it. There might be more Jedi during this time, or maybe it's just implied that Rey is there. Like I said, Daisy was part of early talks for the film, but it sounds like something went wrong or something changed, because a lot of people are saying she's not in the final version. I've heard there were 3 versions filmed, one with Rey, one without, and one with a body stand-in, so we might just see her outline or see her from the back. Cade delivers his nephew, and there's a Jedi Master standing there with a yellow blade. That is something I could definitely imagine Sean Levy doing. But let's talk about the fact he's being delivered to Adaria. This is also a name lifted from Legends. It's a species, and there's also an Adari system. And even though it originates, believe it or not, in a cutscene from Return of the Jedi, and then The Last Command, it also features in Star Wars Legacy. And when I say cut from Return of the Jedi, an Adarian was supposed to be at Jabba's palace. The species was designed from scratch, but then did not make it to the final cut. But the system, which is now a planet, is lifted from the expanded universe, and it's being repurposed for Starfighter. It's described as a lush green location that has a muddy contrast. It is East Asian inspired and has tiki-style huts. On set, large mechanical struts, possibly landing gear, were present. As we know, Tom Cruise turned up on set and filmed a lightsaber duel in a muddy swamp. This could be part of Adaria. And according to Making Star Wars, and this is another humongous reveal, the location has multiple Jedi, and they appear to resemble Padawans, similar to Obi-Wan and Anakin at the end of The Phantom Menace. But are we going to see the Jedi Master? Speaking of lightsabers, my friends, they now confirm that Pierre is playing a Jedi, and one of the lightsaber duels is between him and Mia Goth, who is a Force wielder on the dark side. They say that Pierre's character is connected to the Jedi Temple. This information is massive. We had no idea who Pierre was playing, but he's a Jedi, and we're about to see him in action. And finally, my friends, Eva Mendes is in the film. She's a Cantina owner and the wife of Cade. Just like in real life, Ava and Ryan are married. Interestingly enough, she's not human, and she's 650 years old. Could you imagine if she was a Yoda? Her outfit is a set of gold skin type pants, a corset, and a golden cape. My goodness, my friends. Considering we've just had a period of basically no Star Wars news, getting all of this in one go is so incredible. We needed something big. It's rumored that the trailer for Starfighter is dropping on August 14th, so fingers crossed. But wow, Cade as part of Star Wars canon, a Jedi temple, a Jedi sanctuary on Adaria. Very exciting stuff, but what do you guys think? What do you make of these rumors, these leaks? There's a lot to take in. Share your thoughts down below.